And welcome everyone to another exciting Channeling with Starseed Lø Lø episode where we will be doing a 30-minute blind live channel session. Just to clarify, when I say blind, I mean I don't know until you know who's coming. So I don't know what to ask until you do. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the one, the only amazing channeling extraordinaire, Starseed Lø Lø.
Well, Michael, thank you for that amazing introduction. You're amazing because you channel as well, which a lot of people probably don't realize because none of it is scripted. And all of your questions or comments and statements come from your higher self as well on the spot. So I'm ready if you are.
I'm ready, and I just want to address this one comment. Yes, I did get a sunburn. I went on a vacation to a friend's birthday bash and did get a little sun. So, yeah, it's healing quite fast. So, hopefully, by the end of the week, it'll be back to normal.
All right.
And with that, let's begin.
Yeah, I hope your sunburn gets better now that I can see it up close. It looks painful. Let me just do that. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. Just a touch. Speak of the devil and he appears. Faction of reptoids are here.
Welcome.
We are happy to meet you. We are happy to be here.
Apologies, everyone.
We are from the Orion constellation thereabouts. Our skin does have scales. We are orange in color. We call ourselves the Talleres.
Thank you. And what would you like to talk about today?
What would you not like to talk about? Pretty much everything we would like to talk about. So let's start with the sun. Have you been researching CMEs lately?
I have, and actually had a little too much sun over the weekend and healing from that myself.
CMEs are coronal mass explosions. They are a natural part of what you call your sun or any star. It is a normal cycle in the events that are happening and occurring. What seems to be happening and occurring is actually the sun having its own cycles. It has its own cycle of life, billions and billions of years. However, CMEs happen naturally in the second half of the cycle more than the first half of the cycle until it, as you say, settles down a bit. It is not a baby star. It is not an ancient star either. It is somewhere in the Middle Ages, as you would call it. There are even channels that speak about the solar weather. Lolo here has heard a couple of them, and although they are interesting, a lot of them are just speculative. Speculative because they are not the ones with the actual measurement tools, such as the scientists. However, they share what the scientists are doing. The sun is source incarnate. When you look at the sun, you are looking at source physically.
Thank you. And Because of the CMEs, is that why people who normally don't get sunburn got really sunburned during the CMEs?
That is part of it. However, the other part is mostly because of the melanin or lack therein of their largest organ of their body, which is their skin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are the CMEs increasing in rate because of more usage of the portal inside of the sun?
Every sun is a portal. Every sun is a black hole, such as every atom being a black hole. Scientist Nassim Haramein is the one who has recently, on this version of Gaia 2.0, proven that there are black holes in every atom. It is on the macrocosm all the way down to the microcosm, and from the microcosm all the way up to the macrocosm. There is a black hole, a large black hole within your sun, just as every other star. It can be used for stellar travel, interstellar travel, or as what you call time travel.
Yes, thank you. I'm curious with you and how long have you been around our world? Have you been studying us from the beginning, or have you come fairly recently to watch over us and see what we're doing?
Roughly 2.1 million years. And yes, we do have little small factions, normally groups of about 5 to 10, sprinkled about Earth. We have been to the city Antarctica. And yes, we have met your government.
I'm sorry. It's an Earth thing. I'm curious. Do you travel through ships, or do you travel through like what I would call the flash step, where you are here and then you instantly appear somewhere else?
The latter, we have a jump suit. We do not need to enter a chamber or a room or even a ship, although we can. We push a button with our conscious thinking, and the jumpsuit jumps us to where we would like. It also has cloaking to not be seen or detected by any of your heat signature technology either.
Does it have a universal translator on it, or do you communicate purely telepathic?
Sometimes we do need a translator. Generally, this is going to be for communication with what you call your animal kingdom. However, if it is a complex life force, such as humans or humanoid beings, we exclusively communicate telepathically.
We've been talking with a few beings, and a lot of them are sharing with us what type of food they eat, what type of music they like, if they like to party, or, what they like to do for fun. And so I'm curious to give you a chance to answer all of those.
Music, hell yes. Rock on, dude. Parties. Every moment we experience multiple realities is a party, son.
And what type of foods do you like?
Well, we are reptiles. So, billions of years ago, we did eat what most reptiles eat. which is other smaller reptiles, insectoids. However, now we have a chamber, which is a replicator. The replicator makes all of our nutrients in a perfect balance, and that's how we eat nowadays.
If you had a place where you would call home, like a city or structures, what would they look like? Or would they be crystalline, or would they be more wooden or brick or mud and brick?
You can imagine a city line, a vast city line. However, it looks almost like orange hot air balloons on the top of a skyscraper. We know that a circle is infinite, and therefore we put a circle at the top of our buildings, and most have a theater in the top of the buildings and can actually experience a chamber and jump portal to other realities.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And I apologize that I didn't say thank you for your answers earlier as well. So I just noticed that.
You're welcome.
My next question is, are you familiar with the structures that are around like Chaco Canyon here on Earth? The round kivas?
We are not familiar. However, we know that some structures have had aid and assistance of technologies from what you call Anunnaki. Anunnaki is a general term for, as you call, aliens or extraterrestrial beings that have been there thousands of years ago. Now those Anunnaki have since become what you call Pleiadians and whatnot, Syrians.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I asked because they're of the round structures, so I was curious if you had anything to do with the construction, but you answered that, so I was just explaining why for everyone I would ask such a specific question.
We have not assisted on that one. However, we did assist in the building of what you call the Sphinx.
So with building the Sphinx, then we have a sleeping prophet, Edgar Casey, who talks about a hall of records or a room of storehouse of knowledge under one of the paws of the Sphinx. Since you assisted with construction, is that a truth, or is it a portal to the Hall of Records, and the Hall of Records are actually somewhere else?
All the records are there. However, that specific spot underneath is empty because the CIA has gone and taken decades ago on a tablet, which you're referring to. What is on this tablet is many of the information and origins and extraterrestrial mixtures of human DNAs and genome, which were actually in the seeding of the planet, what is referred to as the Garden of Life, the Garden of Eden, which is the cradle of civilization, which you call the Middle East area now, was actually one of the largest areas of genetics, genetic labs, and whatnot.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What was the reason behind the designing of the Sphinx to look like a cat with a human face?
There are actually two sphinxes. There is a masculine and a feminine. What you're seeing is the masculine. The feminine is still in pieces underneath the sand, which Egypt authorities are aware of. They do have MUON, MUON technology, ground penetrating radar. This one, Lolo, has been wondering how come we have not been shown ground penetrating radar or MUON. and has intuitively found that it is because there are alien bases, ancient ones, underneath the Giza Plateau, and not releasing that information is intentional. Yes, it is. Will it be released in the future? Of course it will, because one of these days, a rich son of a gun is going to fly over the Giza Plateau with their technology and release it.
You have spent a lot of time on Earth. I'm curious then, when we look at like temples where there's the avenue of a sphinx on each side, is that their way of representing both the masculine and the feminine? One side is the masculine sphinx and the other side's the feminine sphinx, or did they just recreate the one sphinx they saw and didn't utilize the second sphinx?
The masculine and feminine sphinxes come from masculine and feminine, as you say. It's also a symbolization of Lyrians because humanoids have been mostly formed from the Lyria constellation. And there were two on Earth. There are still two. It is just the fact that the feminine is crumbled beneath the sand and hidden for now. In coming years, this will be confirmed, just as we said, by a rich son of a gun.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We notice when we have the sphinx that's exposed now, there is what looks to be like a water line in the sand around the sphinx. Are the tales of ancient Egypt true that they moved the Nile River to build a temple to Isis, and therefore the water pushed away from the Sphinx, and the Sphinx used to be a port?
First part, not like that. Second part, yes. If you have ever watched Gaia TV with the Ancient Origins show or Ancient Discovery show, yeah, that's the name we believe, Ancient Discovery show. If you have watched Mr. Geologist Greg Braden on there, what Mr. Greg Braden says is that the weathering on the Sphinx is showing upwards of 35,000 years or so. The weathering is from rain, which means that area was not always a desert, now was it? Therefore,
Right.
exactly, the Nile River was somewhere else and shifted because of the floodplain's erosion over time for thousands of years, and therefore, as you say, moved itself. Greg Braden is correct. He is also an archaeologist.
Yes. Thank you for that clarification.
Welcome.
Why is it, do you, and if you know, please, if you can answer, when we look at the Nile River, it is, if I'm not mistaken, the only river that runs backwards on our planet. Do you know why that is?
Because it is the heart chakra of Gaia, the literal heart chakra being the cradle of civilization of Homo sapiens sapiens Gaia 2.0. It has a magnetic toroidal field that, you are right, does make it a lot more shiftier and even stronger than every other river for that reason.
Thank you. Being that you've been around the planet for 2.1 million years, what was there a civilization that was on our planet that was like your favorite civilization for a while? And if so, is it still around or is it one of those that disappeared?
One of the ones, Tartaria. Tartaria had what you call Pleiadians, much like Lemuria. It is like the Siberian version Lemurians, but Tartarians.
What was Tartaria? What about it made it your favorite?
It was around until roughly the 1800s, until the Cabal obliterated it. It was our favorite, or one of our favorites, because we love ancient Egypt and even ancient Rome, because it had a high mixture of technology. However, they also lived in nature. So you would run up on a city and suddenly be in this metropolis, and then you would step out and be in an abyss of jungle thickets.
Thank
It
you.
wasn't. You're welcome. And yes, it was in what you call Siberia now. No, there were no ice sheets and heavy snow and all that as it has now. Not in that area. The Tartarians carved out a few hundred miles roughly, and in their area specifically in a spherical shape, they had technology to not have a harsh winter. Therefore, they were a bit protected with the harsh winter elements around them.
That makes sense. And I'm wondering, with as advanced as they were, could we actually damage their society with our modern means? Or how and why did they disappear?
As we formerly mentioned, the Cabal obliterated them in the 1800s. Why? Why did they disappear? Such as you refer to Mayans and other civilizations, because it was their free will to do so. They transformed their energy, as you say, dying, and went to another reality, another version of Gaia.
I'm just surprised with as advanced as they wouldn't have had warning of them coming and or defenses that would be impenetrable to what we had because we technology wise I think we're behind what they had, or is that misinformation?
They were far more advanced in this version of humans. They had laser energy weapons, and they were bombed by laser energy bombs. They did not fight back because they were primarily pacifists at this moment in time. They did have the ability to fight back. However, they knew their fate and did not.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What about ancient Rome was that made it your favorite?
Ancient Rome. Oh, we love Julius Caesar. This one got, as the kids say, jump scared or jumped by Julius Caesar because they share an oversoul connection. Julius Caesar was a very, very, very eccentric but strong leader who was actually half Pleiadian.
That explains my blood connection to him. He was my distant cousin.
Yes. And yes, one of your connections is Pleiadian as well.
I feel like he was always misunderstood. Everyone paints him as a tyrant, but I think he was more for preserving the Republic than people give him credit.
He was heavily misunderstood. And as they say, only the victors write the history books, because Napoleon Bonaparte was also heavily misunderstood as well.
Yeah, I find it interesting because we like to think the Cabal is a fairly new organization, but would you say the Cabal was the ones behind what happened to Caesar, and they were around even back then?
Yes. As long as civilization has had what you call money, other than just bartering items, there has been politics and political corruption. Whether it's with a king, a queen, a senator, doesn't matter what you call it. A wolf in sheep's clothing is always a wolf.
Very true. And we are actually getting close to the end of time, and I have been enjoying this conversation so much, and I would like to take a moment and just ask, as in the energies as you are, and I know all the beings say, just keep your energy up, keep your frequencies up. But what, if anything, can we do to help you in your missions?
Be yourself, buddy. Be yourself. No matter what they say, doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Really, only yourself at the end of the day, because you're responsible for yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. You can be yourself by actively following your passion, or even better, doing your passion. You are doing your passion. You are our brother. She is our sister. You all are our brothers and sisters. You make the world better when you do and act on your passion. That's it. It doesn't matter what happened. There is no past and there is no future. There is only the present moment, a single present moment. However, you can create the reality in which you prefer by acting on your passion in every moment. If you do that, your higher self has you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One question I have for you, and it may cause us to go a little over, so hopefully Starseed will be okay with this, is with what you just said, it kind of triggered in my mind a thought that we're talking about disclosure coming out, and we're viewing it as disclosure being the truth about beings such as yourselves are out there. You're helping us and everything. But with what you were just explaining, it kind of got me to thinking disclosure is coming to the realization we are everything in a single moment. There is no, like you said, past, present, or future. It's just this moment. And I'm wondering now, learning to live in that moment, is that what the disclosure movement is really about? And that'll bring about our entering the galactic outer world and councils and everything.
Disclosure comes out because of people like you and Lolo. The people, the starseeds, the mystics, whatever you want to call them, are the ones disclosing. You do not need a puppet figurehead to tell you this, because you already know this, my friend. And a lot of you have first accounts. Some of you even have visual evidence. And all of you in the hybrid programs and other programs have experiences. The veil is thinning because you want it to, which means remembering more of yourself. You are not crazy if you had a dream, which is not a dream, of a humanoid being that is not human. That's all we will say about that.
I know exactly what you're talking about, so thank you for that.
Welcome. Much love, brother, sister.
Much love to you as well.
Rock on. Until next time, my friends.
Rock on, and we look forward to talking with you again.
Same. That was interesting.
That was. Oh, there they are. I was trying to find the. But I kept going past them.
Wow. That's funny that they started out with CMEs because I had no idea that you were looking at CMEs again. So.
Oh, I'm always watching those.
Yeah. Hello, Jason. I'll make sure I give you a follow. I think I'm already following you. Sakula 457. Cindy Shani Gonzalez.
Yeah. I was going to respond to some of them, but then I realized they're on your channel and I can't respond on your channel, so I had to go quiet for a little while with them, is because I realized, oh yeah, they're not like Sile Cola. I was like, I know they're wanting to ask me and help me out, and I was like, I can't respond because they're on your channel. But yeah, it was really interesting what they had to share, and I gotta admit, the rock music kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like rock is a favorite amongst the non-humans, doesn't it?
I think it might be the frequencies of it. So many frequencies like blending together. It just lifts you up. But yeah, and at one point they were like communicating so like as if they had been here forever, that I was like, you guys have been here forever, because normally it's like kind of, the languaging's a little different, and theirs was almost like they're earth beings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I felt like too. Like they were just like, rock on, dude, we're here partying on with you. Like they could just fit in with Wayne's World or something.
I know, I was thinking Bill and Ted's Adventure or Wayne's World.
Well,
But yeah, and it was interesting with the oh, I didn't ask him about dancing. I forgot about that. Oh well, there's always next time.
yep. Does anyone have any more questions? I'm not in channeling mode, but they did tell me that yes, they do dancing. If you can imagine a giant reptile that's orange dancing.
Funny thing, I actually think I can. And I'm like totally picturing, because I was watching Hazardous History last night with Henry Winkler, the second season, and they were talking about breakdancing and how the medical was like had to put an end to it because it was like damaging necks and breaking people's backs doing it. because it's not designed for what they were doing. And I'm picturing this orange scaled lizard breakdancing on the ground because I'm thinking that lizard's body can handle spinning on its head or doing all those crazy moves. And so I'm like totally picturing them in the breakdance mode of the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you say that because, well, everything's synchronistic here with us, especially about a couple of days ago, where we were talking about like the what is that dance movie? It's like one of the more famous ones, and I'm like, I love breakdancing, and my husband said he was never really fit enough to do it, like do the headstand with the windmill and all that kind of thing. And I said, I love
Yeah.
that kind of dance. Like I was never able to do it either, but I love watching it. I enjoy the music. I like, how they dress in the velour suits and like the big chains. And we went to
Yeah.
New Orleans. We saw
The
some
only,
street dancers in New Orleans, and they were doing like flips, like 10 flips in a row. Like it was crazy.
yeah. Are you talking about the Step Up movies?
Yeah, yeah, it's like one of those like Step Up or something like that, and whatever it's
Yeah.
called. I'm so bad with movie names, but we literally saw people like that in real life in New Orleans on the streets. They did a street show. There was one female and like five males, and they were very fit. They were doing like gymnastics and everything, like flip, 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 and then like windmill, and like they were just so cool. You ever go to New Orleans?
Oh, I have, and it is, and it's amazing what some people can do and that their body holds while they're doing it. But you also got to wonder, though, how short term is this? Because it's like, we only see the young people doing it, the older people. It's like there seems to be a moment where they wake up and they're like, nope, we're done with breakdancing. Body's done. We're done. Moving on while we still
Yeah,
can.
yeah. I went to a concert and I saw Zapp and Roger there. And these Zapp and Roger fellows are like in their 60s. This was like 7 years ago or so. One of them, and they're amazing singers and dancers. This man was like 65. He did a backflip. Okay. Very athletic. I'm like looking at
Yeah.
him like, this is a grandpa doing a backflip.
Yeah. It's, and then I know from, I think, my own experience and watching others is like, you get caught up on stage and it's like your body becomes young again because it's got all this energy being pumped into it. Though when you go off stage, you're like, drag me to the ice bath, put me in the ice bath. The body needs the ice bath remedy. It's like the muscles are gone. It's like, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like somehow it's like performance, we can do what we normally do, and then the after, it's like, oh my god, why do I keep doing this?
Oop, sorry. I just hit the microphone. Getting all excited. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's really cool. These guys also had high vibes, like kind of like they remind me of the Jovial Mantis a bit, just different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking that about this group that came in. I was like, we seem to be on the line for getting all the jovials in now.
Hmm. Yeah, they're more like instead of like peace and love, brother, like the Jovials and also jokesters. They're more like rock on and they're ready to like get hyphy or something.
Be like, do a new world party.
Yep. Yep. Huh?
Yeah, and it begs the question, I almost wonder if we were in such a party state and our minds were so focused on the music and entranced by the music, would we even notice an orange scaled reptile partying with us? Or would we just be like dude, this is like an awesome party, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
just
Yeah, you wouldn't, because they'll use a cloaking device, e.g., like being like basically a human body
yeah, they
biosuit.
might, or they might just show up and people would just be like, dude, great, love the outfit, and just be like caught up in the party. I mean, because like, how many times do we hear like people are like after a party, they're like, who was there? I don't know. Well, what did you see? People. It's like the mind shifts in such a way that they don't see everything around them. They're just in the music. And so I feel like it would be the perfect in for them to be like, hey, we're here partying. We don't have to shape shift or anything because you guys are oblivious. We love it. And before the party fact wears off, they're like, okay, time to go. Next party.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. And I love it when new ones come in, because earlier somebody apparently called me that reptilian girl, and I'm like, oh, here's some reptilians, but they're new ones.
Hey, I tell people there's factions and everything, and so you can't lump everything into one. And so I'm having fun getting to meet all the different factions.
Yeah, same.
You know what would be really funny to have happen? The day like the ambassadors of like the orange scales and the jovials come and they're like, hey, we're looking for these two human hybrids that you have here. And then we get called up and they're like, it's nice to meet you in person. It'd be like they call us and remember us and like call us out and be like, yeah, we want to talk to those two that we talked to before we got here.
Yeah, tis life. It's fun. I love
Yeah.
how everything's spontaneous on here.
Oh, yeah. But that would be funny if we got a phone call from the government saying, you have to come with us to delegate this peace deal with this group. And we're like, what? Why? They requested you. And be like, oh, it's you guys.
Yep, and I can actually see them going to a rock concert, and people are like smoking, you know what, and drinking, and then like
Yeah.
bust in the crowd and get all hyped up.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
fun background.
I could even see them doing the Paul Hogan esque move of, you call that dancing? This is dancing. Break into something. But yeah, but we probably should get going because I'm sure you got things to do this afternoon with fam and everything. And I will get to work on uploading this all over and we will make the shorts and see what shorts come of this. And anyone in the audience, if there's a particular part of these sessions that you like and would like as a short that you don't see us make, message us and ask us, and we can go and make it a short and, you know, post it up. If there's a particular part that you think was something important that we missed or fun that we missed, just let us know. We're happy to make shorts and, you know, share the topics out with everybody. And we appreciate you guys watching and participating. And just know, because we're doing shorts, I will reiterate that's why we don't put your comments up on screen, but we are reading them and acknowledging them. So, anything else you'd like to add, Starseed?
Just that Michael here works very hard on the podcast. I believe he still has another podcast. He does another one at nighttime. All of his podcasts are amazing. He has really cool guests on it, and I'm not sure how he keeps on finding them, but he does find different ones like all the time. So please check out his other shows. I do ASMR and I also sing as well, and that's pretty much it.
Yes, and do like, follow, and subscribe both of us on our channels, because that's where you'll find all of our other shows and activities. And you'll also find our lovely every 2 week channeling session that we share with you all. And with that being said, on August 18th, we will be back on Tuesday, barring any family emergencies or anything that comes up. So we will be back on our normal day in a couple of weeks.
That's right. Thank you all. Till next time.
Till next time, everyone, have a lovely day.